Good evening, good evening, good evening. What is going on, flight crew, family, friends, fellow enthusiasts? As always, it is your boy Leo, visiting our Canadian friends to the north as we take a first look here in Microsoft 2024 at the iFly MAX8, available now in experimental mode. So this is my first flight with it in 24. It is labeled as experimental. We could have issues, so we're just gonna put that out there and disclose that now. Hopefully all goes well. Aircraft seems to initialize and everything just fine, but this is gonna be Westjet. Westjet flight 1286 with service over to Toronto. This will be round trip service. We'll end back here in Halifax. Looks like we got some ATC on this evening. Not out of Halifax, but we'll pick up some Boston Center. And then we'll have something that looks like coming into Toronto. So that's good. Hopping over in chat. What's going on, Gary? Welcome aboard. Says feeling great. That's what's up. Spawning is in the house. Green light is in the crib. What's going on, fellas? Hope you boys are doing fine this evening. We'll get that turns on for you. Make sure y'all smash that thumbs up button as you come in. Take your seats, sit down, shut up. And let's get these pre-weekend festivities started. All right, I'll get that up and running here in a moment. Let's get some sound. All right, so we'll bring off the tunes for now. So let's see. As far as the aircraft, it is pretty much everything that you would expect from 2020. Same thing over here in 2024. So with that said, we'll go ahead and initialize the flight here. And I do need to run through my, I've done nothing on the aircraft, so we'll have to go through and if I can figure out how to get to it. We need system page. I need to do my settings here. Run through my settings and make sure everything is squared away. We're using US system here. That is all good. We'll go to the next page. Sun blinds, that's fine. So we'll set that. We'll go back. Check out the autopilot. Let's see, anything I need to change here? Yeah, so we literally installed the aircraft earlier today. Didn't have much time to do anything in it because we had to head out for work after my daughter's graduation today. So we've got to run through our settings here and just make sure I have all my preferred stuff set that I like. Show all traffic is one. And then we can go ahead and get started here. Realistic DU start process. I'll set that. GPWS, that's all standard there. Runway awareness advisory, I don't think is working yet on the in the experimental mode. And the airport charts isn't working in the experimental mode, which is cool because we've got Navigraph as well. Alright, CDU, quiet climb. Alright, that's good. Other systems here, realistic alignment. We want realistic park and brake. We'll enable the HUD. That's all good. We'll set that. Let's jump over to the next page here. Beacon flash rate fast. We'll set that. And then we'll come down to miscellaneous. Sun visors open. Sync the barrels. Alright, so we should be good there. Did I have to add my sim brief here? I forgot how to do that. ACARS. Yeah, here we go. Alright, that should have... No, that didn't save it. So how do I save this? Ah, there we go. Set. Alright, there we go. Alright, so we've got that. Let's go ground support. We'll connect ground power. And let's see if there's anything else that we need. I know we need the doors. We got left open. And let's get the forward and the aft cargo open as well. Alright, so that should be all we need right now. So let's go ahead and get some power established to the aircraft. Like I said, hopefully everything works that we need to complete a flight here. So we'll come up top. We'll go ahead and go battery switch can come through to on. Emergency power armed. Ground power can come through to on. Yo, what's up, Chris? Welcome aboard. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And let me see if this is working. All right, nav lights. Okay. So it looks like our light panel is working as well, so we're good there. We'll come up top. We'll go ahead and start our alignment here. Alright, let me import my flight plan, which I've already done. Alright, so it says we're going to be taking a block fuel of 18.4. So we'll come down here into the performance and we'll go weight and balance here. Fuel, total fuel, we're going 18,400. We'll set that. Cargo, let's see, what are we looking like there? Well, let's do passengers first. We're taking 155 souls over to Toronto, and then let's go 3.4. And zero fuel weight 136.3, 136.4. All right, so we're all good there. We are loaded up with what we need. Now, one other thing I wanted to do, I do have a profile here to allow me to use my wind wing. Oh, hold on. Let me close. Let me see something. I don't think the wind wing software works with the FMC. Let me just open it up and try it. We're in test mode right now, guys, so bear with me. I don't think this works with... Yeah, I think it was Mobi Flight I was using with it. Okay. Oh, nope, nope, it was wind wing. All right, cool. Cool, so we've got our FMC, our wind wing FMC working. And one more thing I want to get working is my autopilot panel, and I do have a profile with Mobi Flight for that. So we're going to activate that profile here. And let me see, which one was it? Alright, hopefully this works in 24. Okay, so that's running. Let's see. Oh, awesome. All right, cool. So we're in business. We got all of our peripherals working. So yeah, we'll come down here. We'll pop you guys there. We'll bring you over to my side here. Yo, D-Champ. What's up, bro? D-Champ is in his house. And let's see. So there are a couple buttons that's different. So in this case, on the NG FMC, we've got climb, cruise, and descent. But here we just got one VNAV button. So I have to be mindful that when I click the descent button, that's going to take me straight to my VNAV page. Otherwise than that, it was one other button here that I can't remember at the moment. We are at where are we at? CYHZ. I think that is our airport code. Yeah, CYHZ. We'll grab our left GPS position here. We'll pop that in. We'll jump over here and clear that out. Let's grab a flight plan request. Hopefully that works. And that'll import our Simbri flight plan. Jacob Jamerson, what's going on? Welcome to the stream and chat. Invalid ID, route 1 uplink. We may need to figure that out. We may put this in manually here. Invalid route 1 uplink. Let's try it one more time with the origin and destination in there and see what happens. Yeah, all right, so we'll have to take a look into that. Maybe that is a product of experimental. However, we've got it in there, so we're good. Wait a minute. That was the other button, departure arrival. All right, so it looks like we are departing. Oh, we need to get signed into VETSIM too. Let's go ahead and get signed in there. All right, we did not get a PDC or anything, or auto ATC, I mean. So we'll do our own thing here. Looks like we'll be going out on runway 32. Let's see, we do have just one single departure out of here, but it's like a vectored thing. Let me see, 32, this is 05. All right, so runway 32, we'll activate that. Go over to route here. Let's put our route in. KELNO. Then we go to on the Q806 airway. We exit at TUKIR. And that's going to be our transition into the what is this? The Ragged 6. And then we're looking at runway 06 right in Toronto. So we'll shoot the ILS 06 right. Let's see what transition we need out there. We'll actually start boarding as well. Let's see, what do we say? 06 right. And let's see, where is this transition here? Alright, cool. So that's right on. Alright, cool. So that's right on our side. We'll add that to the route.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Execute that. Let's go to our perf init. We'll step through our flight plan here momentarily. Cruising at 360. We'll pop that in. Cruise winds is going to be 285 at 92.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
I say it's going to be plus 07. Zero fuel weight was 136.3. We know we're 136.4.
Locking gear.
Reserves. Fuel reserves is going to be where's my reserves? 5.2. Cost index we'll use 40. Actually it's got us at 50, so we'll use 50. We'll execute that. Alright, let's get some performance here. We'll complete that. Airport, we are at CYHZ. We're doing runway 32 departure. Condition is dry. Our winds here in Halifax is going to be 290 at 9. So 290/9. Temperature is 19 degrees Celsius. QNH 2979. We'll derate it. We'll derate it one time. We'll do flaps 5 on, anti-ice off. Let's just make sure our takeoff weight is concurrent with what we got. 154. 154. All right, we'll calculate it. All right, so that's gonna give us derated takeoff cell temp of 31 degrees. So we're derating once. Cell temp of 31. Gives us 87.8 on the N1. 84.9, so we actually going with a little bit more thrust. We're doing flaps 5. And it said okay, how do I saying CG, I forget what oh no, that's wrong, because we have a trim of hold on, let me go back here, weight and balance. Does it show my CG? Zero fuel weight.
Welcome on board.
32. Oh yeah, here it is, 21.7. There we go. That's the correct trim. Alright, so V1 is 143, rotating at 143. V2 is 151. And we are good there. All right, cool. So we've got the FMC program. That looks like it's doing pretty good. We'll jump over to the legs page here really quickly. I'll get my range rings on here as well as the terrain radar. And I'll swap us over because I like to have it enlarged on my side. And let's just do a quick step through of our flight plan here. Make sure everything looks good. All right, that was our vector. All right, route is looking good so far. Oh wait, let's see what that discontinuity was. Oh, okay, so that's our discontinuity at the end of our route, and that's our that's where our approach begins there. All right, so I'm happy with that. 2979, let's get that set now. And then we should be good to go here in a few moments. We'll go auto brakes RTO, and we will squawk. I don't think I have a radio panel profile for this thing. Oh, you know what? I do, I think. Hold on, SPAD. I didn't start SPAD. Rock City, big up, big up. JFoot709, what's going on, bro? Check your browser for a Navigraph login after requesting the flight plan. Yeah, I don't have one. I didn't have one. At least I don't see anything in my browser here. Alright, we've got that going. And of course that kicked off that, so we'll just rerun you. Alright, cool. Alright, so we'll squawk 2000. That's all ready to go. Alright guys, we're pretty much ready to go. We're waiting on the rest of the passengers to come aboard. Bags are finishing up here. Let me take a look at our departure chart. See what we're looking like going out. Runway 32, climb heading 323 or assigned or as assigned for vectors. So we're gonna bug for heading 323 now. Alright. Transition altitude is gonna be 18,000, nothing different there. We don't have a top altitude though out on this. Oh yeah, we do. 5,000. So we'll bug 5,000 now. Alright, cool. Let's jump back in the aircraft. We'll get our cargo doors closed up, get the aircraft secured, and then we'll be on our way. So we'll come here, system. We'll go doors, second. No, that's not what I wanted. Second page. Second page, we'll close these guys up. And we'll actually go ahead and get the main door closed as well. We'll go ground support, and we'll get ready to get the chocks off. All right, let's get the APU up and running here. APU's coming up. It does seem like some of the sounds are muted a little bit. We'll see how the engine start sounds as we start up. But again, this is available as an experimental compatibility version. Let me put this camera back over here. Alright, there we go. Alright, one other thing, let me check. Does Canada use CTAF? Yes, they do. 18.4 is going to be HALIFAX's CTAF. This is one aircraft that has a problem with certain digits. Alright, 18.4, we'll get that going. We're good there. We'll go ahead and squawk mode Charlie. That is fine. We'll come back up top. We'll get the APU gens on. APU bleed can come through the on. We're all good there. Alright guys, we'll get the beacon light on. We'll call up ground crew and we'll get ready for pushback. And they are already connected. We'll be pushing back nose to the left. So nose left, tail right.
Release parking brakes, please.
And we'll make our call here. Halifax traffic, Westjet 1286. We'll be pushing back from stand 18 onto Alpha, facing south. We'll call our taxi, Halifax. Alright, let's go guys. Parking brake is off. And we need to get the shocks.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Yeah, there's no seatbelt sign sounds.
Cabin is ready for departure, Captain.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Westjet Flight 1286, departing from Halifax to Toronto. My name is Taylor, and I am your lead flight attendant today. Alongside me are my wonderful crew members, Emma, Lian, Ava, and Noah. We are delighted to have you with us today. Our captain for this flight is Captain Leo, and our first officer is First Officer Theo. We are expecting a flight time of approximately 2 hours and 15 minutes. Before we take off, I would like to go over some important safety information. Please ensure your seatbelt.
All right, let's go ahead and roll on number 2.
Across your lap. To unbuckle,
Starter valve is
simply lift
open
the
and 2 is rising.
In the event of a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen masks will drop down from the compartment above you. Pull the mask towards you to start the flow of oxygen. Place it over your nose and mouth.
Not really
and secure it with
hearing
an
much
elastic
sounds
band.
coming from back
Remember
there.
to put your mask on first before assisting others. For our water landing procedures, life vests are located under your seat. To use the vest, pull it out, place it over your head, and pull the straps to tighten. Inflate the vest by pulling the red tabs or by blowing into the tubes. This Boeing 737 MAX8
There we go, we're getting some
exits
sounds.
located at the front, middle, and rear of the cabin. Please take a moment to locate the nearest exit, which may be behind you. In case of an emergency,
Yeah, the sounds are
follow the
definitely
indicated exit
louder
sign.
in 2020.
We will be pushing back shortly, and I kindly ask that you remain seated with your seat belts fastened until
And I've got my sounds turned all the way up.
Reset parking brake.
Thank you for your attention, and we wish you a pleasant flight.
I do believe they'll get it. There's that whale. We heard that. All right, let's roll on number 1.
Unlocking gear.
Yeah, I think once they get a couple updates out for it, I mean, at least we got it in 2024 now. So that's saying a lot.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
And truth be told,
Left is clear. Right is clear.
I mean, I guess it is a little more realistic that you're not really hearing all of that from the front. You come back here, you can hear it a little bit better. Alright, looks like we got a good start on number 1. Get probes on. What was we going up to? Flight level 3-6, that's already set. Landing elevation is set. We're good there. We'll come on down to flaps 5. Selected. Flap sounds are good. All right, flaps 5 indicated. Auto brakes RTO. We are on mode Charlie. We'll do a quick flight controls check here. All right, flight controls are free and correct. Let's go ahead and pull up our chart and we'll get up out of here. Halifax traffic, Westjet 1286 will be taxiing to runway 32 via taxiway Alpha Delta, crossing runway 05 Kilo to runway 32. Halifax traffic. All right, taxi license come through to on. Parking brakes released. Oh, hold on, we're missing a setting here. Parking brakes back on. We gotta find that so that my tiller, yeah, it's steering there, but there's a setting I think for it because it's not turning my aircraft. Here we go, independent nose wheel. I think that's what we needed. Yep, that's what we needed. All right, guys, let's get out of here. J-Foot says, just happy it's in 24. Flew it once yesterday. Everything went well. Just don't go to the progress page or will crash the sim sometimes. Okay, I appreciate you letting me know that. All right, so we'll stay off the progress page. at least for the stream here. Yeah, like I said, I didn't get a chance to get it tested out. Y'all know me, I like to test out new things first before putting it on stream, but yeah, I was like, can't miss the opportunity to just fly this one. All right, runway 05 is clear, both ends. Oh, page 3 of progress? Okay. Roger that. Yeah, APU sounds was a little low, but other than that, I mean, it still sounds good. Well, like I said, I do believe they'll get it ironed out. I'm just glad they got us a version that is at least working, that we can fly it. At least give us a good 7.3 in 24, since PMDG is going to be a while. I think they're going to be rebuilding at least the textures and stuff from the ground up. At least that's what part of what Randazzo was saying a couple videos ago on YouTube a few weeks ago. I'm tired already, y'all. Sleep good tonight. All right, so we'll hold short here for a second. Let me get up my departure chart, even though there's nothing really to it. We're pretty much going direct to Kilno. We'll lock our yoke in place. And we'll get ready to send it. Halifax traffic, Westjet 1286. We're lining up on runway 32. Be departing straight out to the north and west, direct to Kilno. Halifax traffic. Alright, so are those bugs? Alright, guys. Alright, let's get up out of here. Toga's in chat if you got him. Let's swap you over to the controls cam. Start the clock. Spool them up to 40, let them stabilize. I don't think my Toga button is working. Where's the Toga? Isn't there a Toga click spot here? Hold on, auto throttle. There we go. Airspeed is alive. There's 80 knots. Rotate. Positive rate, gear can come up. Nice smooth departure. Alright, we're armed Command A. Halifax traffic, Westjet 1286 clear, runway 32, departing to the northeast on direct kill no. Final call, Halifax. Retired firefighter, welcome aboard. We doing good, my friend. Hopefully all is well with you. Good to see you. All right, so from here we'll go ahead and make our way on up to our final. .360. Not bad. She sounds pretty decent. Coming up on 10,000. Landing lights off, wing lights off.
Dear guests, we are pleased to inform you that the use of electronic devices is now allowed. Please ensure that your devices are in airplane mode. Additionally, our onboard Wi-Fi service is available for your convenience. Thank you for your attention and enjoy your flight.
All right, guys, we're on our way on down to, or over and down to Toronto. Yeah, I was definitely super stoked when I saw that this thing was available for experimental release over here. One of the ones I've really been waiting on to get over here. Now PMDG can actually take their time and do what they got to do. At least we got the 800 over here. So I'm happy with that. %100% happy with that. So far the plane is performing just fine. No stutters, no performance issues. The only gripe I have is some of the sounds are a bit low. Some of them are missing, like the seatbelt no smoking chimes are missing, I noticed. Alright, so coming up to transition altitude here in another 1,000 feet. And I think we do have, yeah, we'll have Boston Center here in a bit. Once we cross over the Gulf of Maine. We'll get into a little bit of Boston Center. We lost our center approach into Toronto. However, tower is still on, so maybe they'll stay on until we get there. Who knows? All right, top of climb is just about 80 out in front of us. Ooh, why is that water red like that? Is that a real thing? Is that water really red like that? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's supposed to be like that at all. I need to go get me a cold one and something to eat right quick. We'll wait till we get up to cruise. But I haven't eaten all day. We'll have to grab something. Make it over there before we get into Boston Center. Officially 3 weeks from today, guys. We'll be heading out to Providence. To kick it with the guys. Other Av geeks and nerds like myself. So see, the only thing with the WinWing PFP 3N, right? So the Max's FMC is a bit different. So in the NG, it's you've got the climb, cruise, and descent button. So they work like they're supposed to, but it's just labeled differently. So I have to routinely look down here to see which one I need. Which in this case, I need the descent button to bring me into my VNAV page here. Because what I want to do is step over here and change our speed to 8.1 for the cruise. All right, coming through flight level 270. It's about 40 miles now until top of climb. You said 2 weeks? Well, yeah, 2 weeks. My bad. I'm just counting I was counting the Thursdays. So yeah, from today to next Thursday is 1 week. Yeah, you're right, 2 weeks. You right, Gary. The only thing I miss about 2020 is chase plane. That's what I'm really missing right now is chase plane. She looks good. She still does look good. Flying good too. So I guess I'll show you here, for those of you that don't know. Let me see if I can pull this up here real quick. Let's go to OBS. Let's go window capture. And we're gonna go into the manager. And share that. All right, so for those of you that don't know, you need, if you already have the Max, most of you probably know, but I'll just say it for those that don't. You need to upgrade your iFly manager to version 1.0.4.0, and then you'll have a selection here for 2024 and 2020. All you need to do is make sure you have 2024 selected, and then you'll get the option to install it. Now, if you've tried to install it prior to this thing becoming experimental, I would suggest you go into their Discord, Flight One's Discord, and read the announcement on the steps to completely clear it from 2024, or else you'll run into issues. But literally, you just need to make sure that you're on the iFly Manager 1.0.4.0, where it should prompt you for an update when you open it. And then you'll be able to update to this latest version, which includes 2024 compatibility. Yeah, she definitely still looks good. All right, we should be getting close to our top of climb now. Yep, 1,000 to go. $1,000 to go, fellas. We'll also go ahead and get Boston Center in standby 1347. I wonder why at certain planes it jumps a number like that. All right, here we go. Top of climb. We're going to level off. Make Mach 0.81. This is going to be a slow leg on over. We're only making 396 across the ground. We may get just barely make 400 here once we get our speed set. But we've got 75 knots on the nose, directly on the nose, so it's going to be a little slow going. However, that'll help us coming back. Leg coming back should definitely be quicker.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached cruising altitude. We will begin our snack and drink service shortly, featuring some delightful options like our savory cheese and crackers and the ever-popular chicken wrap. After the service, we will also have articles from the Westjet shop available for you to browse. Thank you for your attention and enjoy your flight.
All right, there you have it. We'll bring you back over. And we'll take a step up here before we won't be in Boston Center long. We're just cutting through like a little narrow section. But I will be right back. Let me grab a beer and see what I can ravage to eat right quick. I'll be right back, guys, in a couple of minutes. All right, right back. All right, we back. I had to get me something for the captain's meal. We got some leftover Alfredo here. Is what we rocking for the meal tonight. Let's see, we didn't get doo-doo-doo-doo, did we? Nope, not yet. That should be happening here shortly. What's up, buddy? All right, we're just now entering the very edge of Boston Center space. Cruising nicely at 807. Dang, yeah, we ain't even get 400 knots. That wind is kicking now. 86 knots. Only making 390 knots across the ground. Oof. I knew better than to go westbound. Let me see something here. He ain't do me yet. Oh, that's because he's off. Okay. Yeah, Boston Center's off now. And look at that. Look at who's on. We needed him on last night. Cleveland Center. So I guess we free to be all the way over there. Which I am also okay with. Sometimes you just want to relax without the police involved. Aircraft seems to be doing just fine. So yeah, definitely aside from some of the sounds being a little low and whatever CTD J-Foot was talking about. We got something working over here. Which I'm definitely excited about. Let's see what it says for yeah, optimal is 3.7. We got what we can get. We can't get that 3.7. Got to stay here at 3.6. Did y'all see the Air India 787 that crashed yesterday? It happened during my stream last night, apparently. I'm seeing all of the stuff about it today. Like, that video is absolutely insane. Yeah, it's absolutely insane. There he is. I don't know what you did, Ashton, but you here, bro. What'd you do? What's up, Depth? What it do, Brody? Am I tripping? I thought I was hearing the overspeed warning. It was just so low. But nah, we good. We right there on the cuffs though. I'm trying to squeeze everything I can. Damn, the wind is just going up too. 370 across the ground. This is why I don't do westbound, boys. Lord have mercy. Beanie Baby, what's going on, my friend? Welcome to the stream and chat. Ashton says, always watching. I signed out. Hey, that's what's up. Signing out and signing back in. I'm glad that got it fixed, bro. Yeah, I'm glad it got it fixed. Man said, is this dude just don't like me on the live chat or what? Yeah, I even looked a little bit while I was at work to try to see if I can find something else. And I was just basically finding the same information we talked about last night. Because I was like, damn, well, what if other people are in here and can't chat and stuff like that too? Robin, what's going on, Robin? Welcome aboard. Says, looks like a stall. Talking about the 7.8. Yeah, I said the same thing. Initially, I slowed it down and really looked at it. Yeah, I agree. No flaps. It didn't really look like they had flaps out. Especially if they had a bunch of fuel for a long haul. They should have had at least more than flaps 1 or 5 or whatever. Yeah, density altitude is another one. Underperforming engines with, you know, the density altitude. I don't think he was ever in a full-on stall though, because in all honesty, he flew the thing into the ground. Like, he went down fighting. He went down flying it. It looks like he was kind of, you know, pitching down just enough to avert the stall. But then you obviously, now you're trading altitude for airspeed. But he never did gain the airspeed. I'm interested to see if it was something other than the flaps, because if you notice, his gear never went up either. And the climb up to what, 600 and something feet? That's obviously a positive rate. They should have gotten the gear up. So did something happen like right at or after V1? You know, and them rotating that caused, you know, maybe a loss in power or something like that. I saw a couple of videos that said that they thought that they heard the Ram air turbine as it came past. and he showed some comparison videos of other 7.8s coming past with the Ram air turbine going, and it literally sounds like a little jet engine that has a prop on it. Like, it sounds like a little propeller plane coming by. And there was a video that he showed of the apartment when they were, it was off to the back right side of the aircraft. That video, the original video actually has that sound in it. But you can't necessarily see the Ram air turbine deployed. Yeah, Green says it also looks like he didn't have enough thrust. Yeah, he didn't have enough thrust, period, bro. Lost contact after rotate. I don't know how they would lose contact after rotating. I mean, they clearly flew it up to 600 feet. And they did manage to get a Mayday call out. But nothing was said. It was just like Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. And then silence. They had already lost the aircraft at that point. You said all of the videos on Instagram of the passengers, like the passenger views? I ain't gonna lie, I kind of want to see it. Like, you talking about people recording inside the plane? Or are you talking about like views of the like views of the people, you know, deleted? Yeah, if it happens to anybody sign out in the account and back end, roger that. Okay, so Beanie Baby says he has a report of the aircraft was flying LAX to MMX and had to divert. So he diverted to, what was it, Ahmedabad? And I was wondering why Air India flight is going from Ahmedabad to London, because that's where they was going, I believe, to London. Yeah, engines may have spooled back, or maybe an improper D-rate was used. Yeah, I mean, you're probably right, but I just find it hard to believe, because why would you even derate on a long haul like that? Like, I even saw a few reports that said they did an intersection departure, but then I saw a few other videos that was saying that they didn't think so, because the way that the runway, like that middle taxiway that comes out excuse me, that middle taxiway that comes out, you have to backtrack for like half the runway. I don't think they would have did an intersection departure from there. Well, it wasn't necessarily a short runway. The runway was almost 10,000 feet, firefighter. Now, yeah, that's short if they did a no flaps takeoff. Which, again, from the views that we see, it's hard to tell if they're at flaps 1 or 5 because of the angles. So we don't know if they had flaps down at all, you know, either. But the flight data recorder will. I just find it hard to miss something so easy like the flaps. Beanie Baby says there is a video I saw of 2 British people saying how excited they were to go home, and there's a video just before takeoff from inside the plane. I gotta find those, bro. I just, you know, I be liking to find as much information and stuff like that I can. Let me just type in Air India crash. See what comes up. Yeah, that one dude, they said he jumped out. I don't think this is it. Nah, this ain't it. I've seen this video before. He said most streamers don't want to talk about it. I like talking about the stuff, man. I mean, it's interesting to get everybody's perspective on what we think happened. And I mean, we're not professionals, but see, that sound like overspeed. We're not professionals, but you know, it's an aviation related incident. We always talk about it. I know me and my group, you know, my crew, we always talk about it. They send me stuff all the time through Facebook and, you know, text message. Hey, you see this plane crash, or you see that plane crash? We talk about this stuff all the time. I just don't want to show any of it because YouTube has a thing, like they may flag my stream or whatever, showing something like that. But yeah, it's, I mean, talking about it all day in the paint, I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, absolutely, Ashton. There you go. Like, what went wrong? What did we see? What did your eyes see versus what my eyes saw? And you know, for a lot of us, you know, a lot of us are into real world aviation as well. You know, these are all practices. If you can understand, you know, things like this that go wrong, that may be pilot error or, you know, something like that, and you can understand that, it might just save your tail in the real world one day. You know what I mean? Yeah, definitely not making assumptions. I mean, it's easy to sit back and say, oh, it's the pilot's fault. You know, it's like in my career field in truck driving. If you have an accident, 9 times out of 10, almost always they're like, it's the truck driver's fault. Not realizing, especially if you run into the back of somebody, not realizing, well, this car literally just cut in front of me and then slammed on the brakes, literally in 3.2 seconds. So it wasn't that I was following too closely. It was that I didn't have time to increase my following distance because they cut in front of me and then slammed on the brakes. Like stuff like that. I mean, you try to understand what the hell went wrong without putting blame directly on the pilots. Quite frankly, in my opinion, from the just at least the videos that I saw, the pilot never really stopped fighting. I mean, he flew the airplane down. I mean, just think about the characteristics of a stall, and you know how bad that could end up if the plane gets into a full stall. You could easily end up with one of the wings dipping and rolling over, getting yourself into a spin or something like that if you had a little more altitude. But I mean, he stayed pretty much straight and level, but he was just losing altitude. A picture pointing to no flaps and thrust? Okay. I haven't seen that one yet. Grain says just because it's long haul doesn't mean you're at full max takeoff weight. You're right. You're absolutely right on that one. Beanie says, can I send links? Yeah, you can try to drop a link in chat. I'm not sure if I have that turned on. Try to drop it in chat and see what happens. If not, I would recommend dropping it in the general channel of my Discord, and I'll pull it up from there. All right, we still got 308 until top of descent. Yeah, try Beanie Baby. Try to see if you can send it in chat. I'm not sure if I have link posting turned on or not. If not, just drop it in the general chat of Discord. Yeah, I saw reports that said that one dude that survived, like, jumped out of the plane, like, I guess after it had hit the building. Like, he jumped out through the wreckage or whatever. And I'm just like, dang, you can only imagine how hot it must have been at that very moment. Grain says, as I look at the footage again, it looks like he pitched up, more aggravating the stall. Yeah, I mean, I did see that as well. But I'm thinking also that he didn't. So in my opinion, I do believe that it was more than just a stall, because yeah, I'm with you, Green, when you say maybe they didn't have all of their thrust, because there was a point in the video a few seconds before the impact, before the crash, where he lowered the nose a little bit, which kind of accelerated his descent. But he lowered the nose a little. At that point, he should have started picking up a little bit more speed, you know, to be able to pull the nose back up a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. Look up nothing is working, and look up nothing is working and British couple. All right, let's see. Oh, here it is. Nothing is working. Air India passenger post viral video of doomed plane. Damn, that's eerie, isn't it? I'm watching it now. That's eerie, bro. Is that not eerie watching that? To looking around, and everyone next to you is going to be dead in a matter of minutes. Oh, is this a flight? Okay, never mind. This is a flight before. This isn't the people that was on that particular flight. Yo, big up Zato. Welcome aboard. Yeah, Starship does look amazing. It's gonna take me a little bit to learn that one though. So hold on, let me, I wasn't reading what it was saying. So it says, nothing is working. Air India passenger posts viral video of doomed plane. What's the next one? It says a passenger who allegedly flew on the doomed Air India plane hours before it crashed is going viral for posting a video of the technically challenged aircraft. It says Akash Vatsa, who traveled on the aircraft for a different flight earlier in the day, claimed the air conditioning on the plane was non-functional throughout his journey. So I'm wondering what else is broken on the daggone thing. There's several cabin features were not working, including the TV screens and the cabin crew call buttons. That's crazy though. I'm not gonna lie, to see that video, and dude probably didn't go on that flight, but that's eerie. I'm watching the video again. He started kind of teetering a little bit. On the edge of stalling. Yeah, that's crazy. What was the other one? What'd you say? British couple? Let's see if I can find that. British couple, Air India. Oh, so these guys didn't make it. Haunting final video of British couple who boarded the Air India flight. That's crazy, man. I think it's more crazy though if you flew on that particular plane right before it crashed and you didn't get back on it and then it crashed. Boy, you talking about some soul searching. Your boy Leo would have ended up a nun at the highest of Catholic cathedrals, bro. If I'd have got off a plane and then it crashed on the flight that I didn't ride it on. And my thing is, can you imagine what people were thinking? The only people that really knew anything really were maybe the people that were on window seats. But how many people were in the middle had no idea, and then it's just like they're just deleted like that. Same thing with the Jeju airline crash that landed and hit the ILS antennas. Like, just deleted that quick, bro. Benny says, I knew someone who worked on the American CRJ that crashed in DC. Wow. That's another level of I'm sorry to hear that, bro. That's another level of even with that flight, like, you're literally less than 30 seconds from landing, and you're just, that wasn't as instant as I'd like to believe, though. I mean, maybe if you're right there in the impact area, but that's not like crashing into a building like the Air India flight. That's almost instantaneous. I believe those people were alive after, you know, hitting the water and, you know, just couldn't get out. Theo talking about hot, we trained with jet fuel. Some of our helmets and gear melted. Yeah. I'm interested to know what comes out on at least the preliminary report as far as the investigation is concerned. You say they were not on the plane because they were done with their shift? Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, oh, ground worker? Okay. Roger that. At Wichita, got you. I mean, even that, like, to hear that that plane crashed, it probably would, back when I was fueling at DCA, if I would have heard that a flight that I just fueled crashed and there were no survivors, just because I touched that airplane, I probably would have been screwed up in the head. Like, not because it would have been my fault, but just like because I was directly involved with that aircraft. You know what I mean? Like, it would have threw me for a loop. But I think Greenlight said it best in our little chat. You know, this has been the year of aircraft crashes, man. I don't think I remember a time where there's been so many mishaps in aviation. Like, it is horrible right now. It is absolutely horrible. And as much as I'd not to like not think about it because I'm getting on the flight in 2 weeks, it's hard not to think about it because it's like I'm intrigued by it. Like, even the horrible side of aviation like this. And Greenlight also said, you know, said it best as well. You know, everything in aviation is written in blood. Like how is this year of aviation gonna change the face of aviation now again as we know it, with new regulations, new, you know, this, new that. Like even if you look at the flight and the CRJ crash with the Black Hawk, like there's been hella talks about changing up some of those VFR helicopter routes along the Potomac. And now, has it happened yet? No. Have they had several other close calls since then? Yes, they've had a bunch of them since then. Benny Baby says, hold up, I need to go watch the video. Then I will tell you what I think happened. Oh yeah, definitely firefighter, foam only, yup. What y'all don't know about Sir Leo here is I volunteered for like 8 or 9 years at my local fire department out here. I think through my, what was it, my junior year in high school until, let's see, 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, till about 2011. What's up, buddy? What's up, bro? Zato says, what's more disheartening is people having the audacity to recreate these accidents and fly it in Volanta or VATSIM. I saw some in the Flight Sim subreddit. Yeah, now I'm not saying recreate the flight as in like let's recreate what actually happened, but I low-key had an idea of recreating the Wichita CRJ flight like as it should have happened. Not as it happened, as it should have happened. I don't see anything wrong with that. But if you're talking about, hey, I'm gonna take off with the same flight number, even out of respect, I won't use the same flight number. But you're talking about taking off with the same flight number and then you're gonna go and crash somewhere in the sim, like, nah, dog. But I don't mind recreating the flight and conducting the flight in a realistic manner as it should have happened. Or certain situations, you know, that may be fun and educational, which is, you know, what they do, like the Jeju Airlines flight. Well, put yourself in a situation, you're on final approach, you lose both engines to a bird strike. Like, can you simulate that and make it? Or are you gonna end up, you know, like, I don't see anything wrong with that if you're doing it for, you know, science. Zato says no, as in not like safely landing using the same call sign. Yeah, I'm not okay with that. Same registration and crashing. Yeah, nah. I'm not okay with that. Firefighter says drove from Florida to Baltimore 2 weeks ago on a cruise. We did not want to fly after all of the crashes. You left on a cruise out of Baltimore, bro? Couldn't pay me enough. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get it to drive instead of flying, but the stupid part of me is like, if I go in an airplane crash, then at least I went doing something I enjoy. But I drive for a living, so it's just like, I'm like, yeah, I can't stomach this 6-hour drive. Green says, you know, FAA and regulatory agencies have always known that the skies will be saturated, but they don't make moves until tragedy happens. Then they spend money. It's about the cheddar, yeah. And like you said before, bro, it's you know, it's all written in blood. Something has to happen to make Washington, you know, get up off of their desk, you know, and do something about it. Again, we are still having near misses in DC. Still having near misses, bro, on a weekly basis with military aircraft. Not even just with military aircraft, but even aircraft at the airport. Like, and I know DCA is short-staffed. They've been short-staffed for years. Well, that's what I was kind of wondering, Beanie Baby, because, I mean, at 600 feet, one would think that that's positive rate enough to have at least started retracting the gear. The gear never went up. Like, the gear never went up. Says, thank you for your service on the fire service. Yeah, I tried to do the whole career thing. I tried to get into it, but during that time, stupid me, being young and dumb, I had some things going on and was disqualified. So I never went back and pursued it. But yeah, I volunteered for like 7 or 8 years, man. So that's why you didn't fly to BWI? Yeah. And that's why now I'm kind of glad I'm in the BWI region. I mean, BWI is better. But I refuse to fly out. And you know, y'all know DCA is like, I swear by DCA. But I will not fly into or out of DCA anymore. Now, we're supposed to be going down to Florida in September. And my lady has already got her flights booked. It was cheaper out of DCA. And I was just like, yeah, well, I'll meet you down there, bro. I'm going out of another area. I'm going out of BWI. Like, I'm not going out of DCA. I'll pay an extra 50, 75, whatever. I'm not going out of DCA. I love the airport, but I mean, it's my home airport, but yeah, no. It's like once, and here's the thing about it. I have no doubt that the issue at DCA has existed for a long time, for a while, right? The short staff, you know, the bickering. Like, they had a full-on fist fight in Tower, about a month ago? A full-on fist fight. Now, who could be arguing that damn much to get in a full-on fist fight in the Tower, and you're supposed to be controlling aircraft? But I have no doubt that things like that has been going on for a lot longer than we may be aware of. The fact is that there was just two aircraft that crashed where there was a massive loss of life. And so now everything is visible, everything is under scrutiny, and everything is being recorded now in the airspace. And that's why I believe now you're really seeing how many, you know, near misses. You know, I saw one report said that they had in just I think the month alone, it was like something like 25 or 30 near misses. And we're talking about everything from airspace to runway incursions to aircraft on the ramp to commercial versus military aviation over the river. Like 25 or 30 in a month, that's almost one a day. Brain says, yeah, but if an emergency happens, I see why they may have missed raising the gear. Task priority, yeah. But if you're slow on speed, you want to clean the aircraft up though, right? I mean, you start getting that daggone stall buffet warning horn or whatever, you trying to figure out why you so draggy. Like, your first priority should be to let's get some speed. But yeah, unload the nose a little bit, but get some drag off of the aircraft. Obviously, you're not gonna raise the flaps, but your gear would be, you know, I don't know. I'm not a professional pilot. Flew out of DCA the day before the crash. Yeah, that would have kind of maybe sent me on a little mental trip. But my thing is, you know, I'm with other people and saying I've flown in the DCA a bunch of times. I've even flown in the DCA on that exact approach, coming into 3-3. Like that exact approach, bro. And it's just like now when you fly over it, the only thing you can think about is like, damn, they died right here. Like, how close were they? Green said someone was smashing another. You know, normally it's usually two things that make people fight: money and booty. Yeah, you ain't lying. You ain't lying about that. Well, no, it's a couple more things, especially on the job, and that would be somebody that got somebody effed up. You know how you working and you like, man, you got me effed up. Like, shoot, no, you not gonna put that on me. Hey, we can go at it, Slim. We can go at it. Meanwhile, all of the aircraft on the ground is like, yeah, hello, tower, you there? Yeah, thrust first, then clean up. No thrust. Step 2 doesn't happen. Yeah, you're right. You back in here again? What's up? Daddy's using it. Go tell mommy to put something on. Yes, she did. No, she didn't. All right, tell her to put it on. Firefighter says they had a report and stated. What are you talking about? The airspace is too congested in that area. He said they had a report. Who had a report and stated? What are you talking about? Yeah, the airspace is super congested. It's been like that, and they known it was going to be like that for years as they started adding all of these new flights. But they never adjusted any of the routes, the VFR routes. They never adjusted anything for the airspace when they added all of these new flights and new congestion. It just did nothing but continue to get more and more congested until, you know, the controllers are getting overwhelmed. You know, it's just crazy, man. That part, Green, that part. The USA could fix the ATC system if they forego spending money to other countries just for 1 year. They could modernize the whole system. Absolutely, bro. I 100% agree with you. We got so daggone much money wrapped up in other countries and other deals and other stuff that we don't have enough allocated to our own infrastructure. We don't have enough allocated to, you know, our own air travel safety. I mean, All right, we got 131 till top of drop, guys. Let's jump outside, shall we? So hazy up here over Canada. And you know, one thing, I forgot who they said it was or who they said, but you know, one thing that I've really been disliking about all of this aviation crashes and stuff is that when it's a big one like an airliner like that, like the 78 or even, you know, CRJ, or you know, they always get to talking about who was important that was on board the aircraft. Like, it's always got to be a daggum conspiracy theory that this was a hit on this. Now, I ain't saying it doesn't happen, but I remember I saw one little suggestion that somebody, I can't remember who it was, somebody was supposed to be on this Air India flight. And so, you know, there was a couple of things I saw on TikTok that was shooting at a conspiracy theory about that's why you know, the Air India flight crashed. The pilot flew the plane into the ground. I'm like, well, if you want to be technical, the pilot did fly the plane into the ground, but that's because he was already flying. Usually a good pilot will never stop flying until impact. Yeah, I heard something like that too. Firefighters still using floppy disks. In the age of everything being digital, you're still using floppy disks. But, you know, the reality is that is government for you, bro. The government is so unmodern that it's crazy. Like, even in the post office now, you would think that after all of these years, they've got all of these machines for sorting, and you know, it's modernized, and you know, you get your packages efficiently, you get your mail efficiently. Nah, dog, I'm gonna take y'all with me to work one day. We're gonna do a long haul, and then while I'm at work for a few hours, I'm gonna show y'all this stuff and how unorganized the government is. And this is true for, you know, probably every building in DC. It's true for the military, as far as a lot of the stuff, anything other than frontline fighting vehicles like the tanks and the Gen 5 fighters and stuff like that. Technology is like still in the 90s and 80s. No, I'm using my phone. You cannot use it. Go on. But it says that is the ATC. Come on. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, bro. I don't understand it. But yet they sending all of our money and we're paying taxes. We the ones paying these taxes, and we send money everywhere else but here. All right, this waypoint here is technically going to be our entry point into the arrival, but we still got 102 miles until our descent. It's been a slow going leg here, boy, with this headwind. 105 knots on the nose. We're only making 371 knots across the ground. Which that'll be nice for us going back. That'll definitely be nice for us going back. There's one image here. Oh, let me see if I can pull up this image. Let me see. Oh, let me see if I can. I don't know how to. I'm trying to find the right one. I want to see the video from the right side of the aircraft from those apartments. Somebody just had a screenshot. Hey, can you zoom in on the video on YouTube? Anybody know? Because I'm seeing a little trying to figure out, hold on, let me see. Yeah, it's not letting me zoom on the actual video. I don't know, man. So this image, oh, let me just see if I'm gonna pause it because I don't want to. This particular video that I'm watching here, it looks like a little hump or something right from this vantage point to the left of the. So I'm looking at the aircraft from about the 4 or 5 o'clock position. It would be to the left of the right main wheel. There looks like a little protrusion, but I can't zoom in close enough to see. If that's what I think it is, if that's the ram air turbine, the ram air turbine is on the right side of the 7.8. I wonder if they had some electrical issues or something, because the deployment of that, from my understanding, is automatic in the 7.8. But I'm wondering if they had some sort of electrical issues, if that is in fact the ram air turbine. And that was the first picture that I seen, or first time like kind of seeing it like that in the video. All of the other videos have been the video of the video. All right, we're inside 80 miles now on our top of descent. Let me see here. We'll go ahead and start getting prepared here. Zero 57 111.95. What are we doing? 6 right? $360 at 8. All right, we'll get our landing weight here shortly. All right, let's see. Our bottom altitude for our arrival is going to be 8,000. So we'll bug down to 8 in preparation for our descent here. All right, 738 is going to be our minimums. All right, 738 is set. Get auto brakes 3 set. And we pretty much are set up and ready for our descent. Guys, I think I might forego this second leg. I'm actually tired, man. I might forego the second leg here. Give me a little bit of extra sleep tonight. Yeah, I think I'll do that. We'll get our replays and stuff on this approach here. All right, 17 miles to go until top of drop. All right. We'll see how this thing lands in 2024. And let me see what is CTAF here. $18.35. Put that in standby. All right, there we go, boys. On our way down the hill. All right, bottom altitude is 8,000. We've got that dialed in the MCP. Looking out over Lake Ontario here. Let's see, what was the altimeter? Altimeter here is 3014. Let's get that into standby as well. All right, so we'll bug 3014. So we pass 280. Alright, so we're gonna put in gross weight is 144. Alright, so that's gonna give us VREF of 148. Flaps 30. All right, over to local pressure. All right, we'll stow the speed brakes. Oh dang, what gate are we going to? It just says Terminal 3. Where's Terminal 3 at? Let us figure that out really quickly. Alright, Terminal 3 is there, so we'll exit stage left. Shouldn't be too long of a taxi back or over to Terminal 3. Alright guys, coming down the hill, looking good on the descent. We're all set up for the ILS runway 6 right approach. We've got speed constraint here at Lorette right out in front of us, 250 knots. We've got that. Our next speed constraint is going to be at Reese's, 210 knots, and that is also our 8,000 constraint. From there, we'll bring it on down to 3,000 for our initial approach fix. And then we'll make right base and come on in. Set her on down for the night. I really wanted to do the second leg, but I'm tired. I'm low-key tired. This leg is drew it out. I mean, 100 and something knot headwind. I can't do 3:34 a.m. tonight, fellas. All right, so we'll hang on to 250 here for a little bit. I did see some traffic coming into Toronto. There's some guys turning final at the end of our arrival, same arrival here. Do have some traffic on the ground there, so we'll be sure to make our calls as we get in closer. Ugh. You know what it is? I stayed up late last night. I didn't go to bed until like 5 or 6, trying to plan some stuff out, and then got right up at like 9 to go to my daughter's graduation ceremony, and I've been up ever since. Got done with that, kicked it around the house here for a little bit, and then went on to work. So I am low-key beat. There's downtown Toronto there. Let's see here, we're at Terminal 3. If we exit at Delta 3, we cross 6 left. We'll take Delta 3 on down and around. We'll go in at like Bravo 18 or 19 is what we'll use. All right, coming up on 10,000 feet, boom boom room will shut down here in a second. All right, there's 10,000. Landing lights can come through the on, wing lights as well. I'm local firefighter. Yeah, I done my bed at that over the road, and you couldn't pay me enough to do it now. Downtown Toronto, look at that. No, a lot of haze out here with them. I guess them fires going on. There's a lot of haze out here. That's nice that that's depicted. That's pretty dope. Alright, we'll bring our altitude on down to 3,000. We'll let the descent continue. Alright, we'll get the tunes off. over to CTAF. Toronto traffic, Westjet 1286. Overhead Verco at 7,700. Entering the right downwind for the ILS runway 6 right approach, Toronto. Here's the airport down there. Hold on, which one of these was my speed intervene? I mean, not speed, my level change. There we go. Alright, we'll go ahead and level change it on down to 3,000. And let me just make sure that is what we needed. Yep, 3,000. Intercept at 3,000 as well. Alright, so that green banana is a little out there, so let's see. Yeah, we want it about right there. That way we don't have to extend much past where we need. We can cut all of this off and just come on around. We'll put out a little speed brakes to help us keep the nose down a bit. Alright, looking good on the descent, coming through 4,500. We've got everything we need set. We are prepared. Firefighter says, yes sir, I understand. When I got out of the Army, I drove for JB Hunt for 2 years over the road. Yeah, I did it for about 2 years with CRST, and then I did some regional stuff with Schneider. It was cool and all, but I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I done got spoiled by this local stuff. I put my work in doing over the road, so now I done got spoiled with the local stuff, and then got spoiled even more running the mail. Alright, we do have an aircraft about our 2 o'clock on final. We're going to extend past him a bit. I do not have him on TCAS, nor do I have him visual.
2,500.
But he is a VATSIM aircraft, so we're using the radar thing on Navigraph to spot them as well. So we'll extend a little bit here. And let's see, we should be somewhere about equal now. And of course these guys aren't making any calls. Alright, we'll go ahead and go direct to our initial approach fix. Flaps 1. And flaps 5. Toronto traffic, Westjet 1286, right base for the ILS runway 06, right approach, direct to Lasad. Gave it up after taking the load from Seattle to Miami. When I got back, I gave them the keys, right? Locked in. I'll swap you over here. Let's also start the recording. And we will arm the approach. 148 is going to be our VREF speed. None of these guys are talking on CTAB. There's somebody off to my left that looks like he's on the intercept. He should be falling in right behind me, but nobody's talking. Maybe TCAS is broken in the 2024 one, because I'm not getting any of these guys on TCAS. So we'll see how this thing handles the ILS approach in 24. Alright, spoilers are armed. We've got auto brakes 3 selected. This guy should fall in nicely behind us. Little breezy. We're getting a little bit of bouncing around here, but we should be fine. Let's take a relook at the yeah, we should be fine here. Yo, what's up, Cam? Good to see you, brother. Just in time for our landing into Toronto. Cam, you coming to Expo? All right, gear can come on down. Here comes the glide. Toronto traffic, Westjet 1286, 8 mile final, ILS 06 right approach, Toronto. You know you are old when you do a little PC upgrading and your hand looks like claws. Toronto traffic, Westjet 1286, 4 mile final, ILS 06 right approach, Toronto. All right, we'll get ready to take over here.
1,000.
All right, I have the airplane. Well, she's a bit turbulent coming in here.
400. 300. Approaching minimums. 200. Minimums.
Continue.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
No spicy. Definitely a little spicy. I'll take it though. we'll take it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Toronto. Exiting at Delta 5 just like we're planned. That was a spicy one for be 7 knots. She flew nicely though, I'm not gonna hold you. Toronto traffic, Westjet 1286 is clear of 06 right at Delta 5. We'll be taxiing into Terminal 3 via Delta 5, Delta Tango. And we'll take Delta Tango on around to the ramp. Toronto traffic. Alright guys. Let's see here. We'll take this straight on across, buckle left. Parting runway is clear. Toronto's a little frame heavy. Toronto is a little frame heavy. This is another big airport where it'll take you 20 minutes taxi from one side to the other. It's a huge daggone airport. All right, so we'll get over here. Once we park, we'll stop the replay, run a couple, or stop the recording, run a couple replays, and then we'll leave you here on this one. This leg did take a little longer than anticipated. I never checked the winds before planning the flight, so we were at 300 and something ground speed the entire time. I'm a little tired, so we're gonna cut out the second leg. We got the rest of the weekend though to get some things popping. I almost flew Flare. That's a nice, I don't know why I like that airline, but I like that livery. All right, what is Air Canada doing? All right, so we're gonna do you a solid. We're gonna play realistically. Now, normally, you know, I'd have just went through them, but we'll go around Air Canada there. Thanks, Cam. Thanks, Firefighter. Appreciate you, boys. It was a little wobbly. She was a little turbulent, but we got her in. AIG, no, I'm using FSLTL. However, I'm not using the FSLTL injector. I either use Beyond ATC to inject the aircraft, like I'll just start it and not use the ATC stuff. I'm not going around two of y'all. Or I'll use Say Intentions, which both uses, they both use FSLTL models to inject. So yeah, that's what I've got going right now. It's the only way that you can get injection that I know of. I'm not sure if Just Flight's FS Traffic is working yet, but I do prefer either Beyond or Say Intentions injection. Alright, let's see where we're at. Alright, this is going to be our turn coming up here. Alright, don't look like we've got any ground crew yet, so just like sometimes in the real world, you gotta hold and wait for your ground crew to man the gate. We're gonna do Bravo 19 here. Let me just make sure that this is the correct spot. Yes, it is. Alright, let's get on in here. No marshaller? Is he inside the building? Alright, let's go ahead and shut them down. And welcome to Toronto Pearson, or whatever the name of the airport is now. A nice little long daggone flight. Alright, let's get some tunes back on while we close everything out. And then we will get us some replays. Let's stop the recording here. Let's slide you to the side. Complete the flight on Volanta. Statistics, negative 242, so not bad. I mean, considering we were being rocked around a little bit, not bad at all. Negative 242 on that. All right, we'll close out Volanta. We're good there. And I do believe that is all we need. So I will get everything back activated here. And we'll remove the jet bridge as well. And let's just ensure that our door is closed. Yep, there it is. It just closed. All right, cool. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and play that back. Let's watch us a replay here. Is it not gonna start? Hey, this is weird. I'm dragging the, see, I'm dragging the thing. It's like it's not, is the plane not compatible with the replay system yet? I know I had it recording because I hit stop. Yeah, that's weird. That's weird, guys. Well, maybe it's not. I don't know. I haven't watched anybody else stream to see if they were able to get a replay going on it. However, we'll go ahead and split it out from here. Sucks that we didn't have a replay on that. However, we're in Toronto. So yeah, we do have a working-ish, well, I wouldn't even say ish. It worked just fine. A couple of little sound bugs, I think, that needs to be adjusted. But other than that, you now have a 737, a proper 737 over in 24. Again, just a reminder for you guys that may not be aware, you need to update your iFly client to version, here, let me show you one more time. That's the least I can do for you since we ain't got a replay. For all of you guys, you need to ensure that you're on version 1.0.4.0, and then it will prompt you to update, and you'll then have a selection here for 2020 or 2024, and then you make sure 24 is selected. Install your aircraft, install whatever liveries you want, and that is how you can get yourself the iFly MAX8 over in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. So with that said, guys, it's been a blast. I'm gonna go get me some rest. I appreciate all of you boys for riding with us tonight. Mr. Cam, MD80, good to see you. Retired firefighter, appreciate you for stopping by. Green Light was in here. Beanie Baby, appreciate your support, my friend. Zato was in the building. Appreciate you as always. New Mexico Flyer Robin was here. Ashton stopped through. Appreciate you, my guy. Who else did we have? FO Pilot Depth stopped through. D-Champ was in the house. Mr. Gary Shepard showed some love. Jfoot709 stopped through. Appreciate all of you guys. Rock City Strong was in the house. Jacob Jamerson was in the house. And whoever else. Oh, and Spawn and Salmon. Can't forget you, my brother. To all of you guys have a safe night. Get yourself some rest. We'll see you at the start of the weekend tomorrow. And so, yeah, you guys take it easy. We'll see you on the next one. Yo boy Leo signing off. See ya.